Okay, it's been asked, why am I putting all of these videos up on YouTube and who is the intended audience? Well, a lot of the ideas that are presented are things that I believe God has shown me over the years, and I have previously presented many of them in the substance use disorder treatment programs I've worked in over the past 20 years, where they appear to have been of value to many of the participants in their recovery. To answer the why question, I must go back to May of 2022 when my dear wife Patty passed into the arms of the Lord. I was devastated by my loss and had come to a place where I would just as soon join her. I was experiencing some intermittent headaches of brief duration and mild intensity, and that I thought could be a physical manifestation of my grief. However, knowing that one shouldn't be feeling things inside their head, I went to see my primary care provider, PCP, who ended up ordering an MRI. I had the MRI in late August of 2022, and that's when the PCP called me with the preliminary report that indicated there was an unidentified mass in my right temporal lobe. There was a part of me that felt like my prayer had been answered, that maybe this would be how I ended up getting to join Patty. I have moderated a rather large prayer chain since 2010, and I posted a message informing them of my situation, and this is what else I told them. If it's my time to go, I'm okay with that. However, if he still has plans for me, I'm willing to do what it takes. Since then, I had surgery last September to remove the cancerous tumor, followed by a series of chemoradiation therapy treatments last fall. So I'm thinking maybe he still has work for me to do on his behalf, and that the ideas he had planted in my brain, if they would have value for others, may be what he wants me to share with his people, believers. If you haven't noticed already, my mind doesn't always see things the way most others might see them. Now, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, since sometimes there are useful insights that can only be gotten by seeing things from outside the box. How valuable those insights may be depends, but they certainly offer a different perspective that has the potential to stimulate others to see things differently, although not necessarily in the same way I do. Specifically, I believe these messages may have a value for those who have a relationship with the Lord in helping them to clarify what they believe about who he might be and just what type of relationship he might desire to have with those who acknowledge him as their Lord. So what I present is my own thinking. It's not my intent to get others to agree with me, as much as I hope that my thoughts, as unique as they may be, will stimulate those hearing them to think about what they believe and how they have chosen to allow those beliefs to influence their decision making. If, after hearing my ideas, the viewer comes to the same conclusions they had before, that's great, since I would be hoping that my presentation gave them an opportunity to consider their beliefs more analytically than they may have when they first adopted them. It's my hope that these will encourage a deeper relationship between his people and the Lord. Ultimately, a person's beliefs about God and their relationship with him is between the individual and God. For Jesus tells us in Matthew 7, 1-3, do not judge lest ye be judged. For in the way you judge, you will be judged, and by your standard of measure, it will be measured to you. And Paul tells us in Romans 14:13, therefore let us not judge one another any more, but rather determine this, not to put an obstacle or a stumbling block in a brother's way. So it is my hope that these videos, you will find them thought-provoking and stimulating. And whatever conclusion you come to, as I say, that's just between you and God. I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. So, God bless and thank you. Thank you. And please feel welcome to comment on the YouTube or to communicate with me in any other way that you can about what you think of things that I've been presenting. Okay, thank you. God bless.